Everyone, today I'm going to be answering the most Googled questions about designers. You know how the Google search engine works. When you start typing something, it auto-suggests common phrases that other people have typed. So by searching for things about designers, I'm going to get to see what other people have been questioning about us and about our industry. I think it's going to be pretty fun, and hopefully I'll actually be able to answer the questions as well. So let's see, I'm going to start with why do designers use mood boards? Well, usually for gathering inspiration and also presenting that inspiration in a way that shows like a cohesive visual of what you're aiming for with the product. Why do designers use Mac? Because it's the best. Don't come after me, Windows people, I've had enough of that. Why do designers hate Comic Sans? Honestly, at this point, it's just kind of a joke to hate on Comic Sans. It served its purpose, and I think most designers hate it because it's most often these days not used for its intended purpose. People use it when they want something to look like a handwriting font, and it just doesn't. It looks ridiculous, but hey. Why do designers wear black? It's really funny how, for me, design just means web design and, UI, UX design, graphic design. That's the world I live in, but obviously, looking at these search terms, I'm reminded there's many other types of design out there. So for the next one, let's type, what do web designers use? Various tools and software, whichever we feel like, to be honest. There isn't a set one that all web designers use. Right now, my favorite is Figma. What do web designers make? We make websites. What do web designers charge? This depends, and I know that's a shitty answer, but it's honestly true. It depends on your level of experience, depends on exactly what the project is you're making for someone. That's why if you've ever experienced going to a designer and asking how much they'd charge for a certain thing, they're probably going to come back to you with a bunch of different questions before they can actually tell you a price. And that is because it does depend. What do web designers do on a daily basis? We spend a lot of time in front of computers, more than the working hours, and that is probably why you've noticed a lot of designers wearing glasses, because we keep hurting our eyes. What do web designers earn? Again, this one's really subjective, and it does depend on a lot of different factors, like where you live, where you are in your career, what exact type of web design you're doing, and what company you're doing it for. In general though, web design is a pretty lucrative career, and even outside of the San Francisco tech bubble, you can make a 6-figure salary doing web design, so you earn enough, that's for sure. Let's try, how do designers get inspired? We get inspired basically from anything. Like when you learn design and you learn design thinking, you learn how to analyze things and you learn how to pull inspiration from various places. I've mentioned this book many times before, but one of my favorites that I think every creative should read is Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. It'll be on Amazon, link to it down below in the description if you want to check it out. But it basically talks about how to gather inspiration from various sources and how to combine it to make something new. And that's my favorite way to think about inspiration, is that I'm always looking for it. It's always out in the world. Anything could spark an idea really. And I want to save it away for later and combine it with something else to make something new, so I don't actually end up copying something. How do designers get paid? Well, someone sends money into our bank account and then we can spend it. How do designers make money? Okay, people really want to know about making money, obviously. Basically, doing design is providing a service, and so there will be clients or companies who will hire you full-time to provide that service and to produce design assets, websites, books, brochures, whatever it is that they need designed. Sometimes, especially when it's done well, design can look really easy and simple, and that can make some people question why designers are paid so much, I guess. But basically it takes a lot of years of training and experience to get to that level where you can design something quickly and easily that looks beautiful and looks simple. It's actually more difficult than you think. So that's why we make money, and that's how we get paid. How do designers dress? Well, I work from home, so to be honest, I'm wearing sweatpants right now, and that's pretty normal for me. Let's try this with web designers. How do web designers build websites? This is an interesting one because, and I have a whole video about this, web design and web development are actually two different skills. A lot of web designers are able to also develop the websites that they design, but not everyone does and not everyone needs to. So the answer to this question is web designer might not build a website, to be honest. They might hand it over to a web developer to get that side of things done. How do web designers use Photoshop? Honestly, I asked that question too. I used it for several years to design websites, and then I discovered Sketch and then Figma, and honestly, I couldn't go back to Photoshop, that's for sure. I'm gonna try, why are designers so pretentious? Why are designers important? Basically everything you see in this world has been designed. And that is why design is important, because if there wasn't designers, you'd be using things that were really difficult to use, because design isn't just about how things look, it's about how things work. And also though, the world would just be a much less beautiful place. And so I'm happy we have designers personally. Why are designers paid so little? Interesting. I think this comes from like a race to the bottom in prices. Things like Fiverr and what are some of the 99 Designs, you know, those platforms where you can just put up a competition for a logo and pay someone like $5 for a professional logo design. Those sorts of things are really devaluing our industry, and I really just don't stand by them. And that is one of the reasons why designers are being paid so little, is because companies see that and think that's a fair price for design, so that's all they want to pay you. But I promise you, the right clients and the right exciting projects, they're going to challenge your brain properly, those people will be interested in paying you what you're worth. Why are designers creating parasitic architecture? Let's end this off with, are web designers becoming obsolete? I sure hope not. Are web designers in demand? People are really worrying about this. I can see why, because there's a lot of software these days that makes it easy for people to create things like websites themselves, things like Squarespace, for example. But to be honest, the skill of design thinking is always going to be valued. Sure, now it's easy for someone to make a page that has a big header space, maybe it's got 3 points, maybe it's got a block of copy and a button, you know, that standard landing page we've all seen before. I've designed many of them myself, so no shade. Those sorts of websites, it's super easy for people to make by themselves now. So the challenge for us as designers is to make something different, to help brands and companies stand out and create something unique, create unique experiences that are like highly readable and understandable. There's still plenty of demand and like room and value in being a web designer, I promise. Are web designers and web developers the same? No. Well, that seems like as good a note as any to end on. Seems like people are most interested in how much we earn and whether our jobs should even exist. So great. I'd love to know in the comments, what was one thing that you were really curious about to do with designers before you became one? What was something, I don't know, that maybe you had wrong or were worried about unnecessarily? Me personally, I was really concerned about what designers wore to work. I thought I was going to end up in this super corporate environment, having to wear like, I don't know, a skirt and a suit jacket and heels to work every day, which is hilarious now that I'm standing here in my sweatpants and my long sleeve tee. But yeah, I was really worried about that for some reason. Before I end, I just want to give a shout out to my friend Jarvis Johnson, who I copied this video idea from. I did ask him first, don't worry. It was really funny and really interesting, so I've linked his in the description box if you want to go and watch that next. If you enjoyed this video, if you liked watching me Google things for the past however many minutes, then please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new around here, then by the way, hello, I'm Charlie. I'm a designer, in case you hadn't figured that out yet. And I make videos about design every single week. So I'd love to see you back here for the next one. Just click that subscribe button and I will see you then. All right, have a good week. Bye.
Perfect.